Opening music plays softly, followed by a dramatic pause. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Storytime. Today's post is from a young woman who shares a very relatable and frustrating situation in her relationship. She's been dating her boyfriend for over a year, and while they don't officially live together, he spends almost every night at her apartment. But when she brings up the issue of rent and bills, he becomes defensive and dismissive. Let's dive into this story and see how it unfolds. My name is Emily, and I'm 25 years old. I've been dating my boyfriend, Alex, for about a year and 4 months now. At first, we didn't have any issues with me being the primary caregiver of our living situation. He'd come over to study, play video games, or just hang out. But as time went on, his visits became more frequent, sometimes 5 or 6 nights a week. He'd shower here, eat here, and even bring over his gaming setup and work clothes. It was like he was slowly making himself at home. I didn't mind it at first because I love Alex and enjoy having him around. But as my bills started piling up, electricity, water, food, everything, I began to feel a bit stressed out. My apartment is small, so every little thing adds up quickly. And with him being here almost every night, I couldn't help but wonder if he was taking advantage of me. The problem is, whenever I try to bring it up with Alex, he gets really weird and defensive. Last week, I casually mentioned that maybe we could split the rent or bills since he's staying here more often than his own place. I tried to say it in a very calm and non-confrontational way, but he immediately shut down. He said relationships shouldn't feel transactional, like if he starts paying, then it's not romantic anymore. That really confused me because Alex makes more money than me. Not loads, but enough that he could definitely contribute to our expenses without breaking the bank. And let's be real, he spends his money on other things like fancy shoes and gaming sessions with friends. So, I don't get why he couldn't see it from my perspective. Then yesterday happened. I came home from work and found out that Alex had invited 3 of his friends over without asking me first. They were drinking beer, using my TV, and even ordered food on my account because he forgot his wallet. I was livid. Who does that? I confronted him about it after his friends left, but our argument quickly escalated into a full-blown fight. He told me I'm acting like a landlord instead of a girlfriend. Like, seriously? That's not what this is about. It's about fairness and communication in our relationship. Things are pretty tense between us right now, and Alex barely talks to me anymore. His excuse is that I embarrassed him by bringing up the rent issue. Can you believe it? Now, some of my friends and family members have weighed in on this situation. My older sister, Rachel, thinks I've let things go too far and that Alex now feels entitled to live in my apartment for free. But one of my friends, Mike, says maybe Alex just got comfortable and didn't realize how his behavior was affecting me. So, ladies and gentlemen, the question on everyone's mind is, how do people usually handle this situation when one partner starts living at the other's apartment? Is asking for rent or bills normal in this situation? And how can I bring it up with Alex without making our relationship feel like a business deal? Background and context. I want to give you some context about our relationship. We're both pretty laid back and easygoing, but we've never had any major conflicts before now. Our differences are usually around small things, like whose turn it is to do the dishes or what movie to watch on Netflix. But this rent issue has brought out a side of Alex that I haven't seen before. Alex and I have discussed our financial situations in the past, but we've never really talked about splitting expenses. He's always been pretty tight-fisted when it comes to money, which is why I'm surprised he didn't see my request as a reasonable one. Breaking down the situation. So, let's break down what went wrong here. Alex started feeling entitled to live in my apartment without contributing financially or making any effort to be more considerate of our expenses. When I brought up the issue, he got defensive and tried to shift the blame onto me for being too transactional. But the real problem is that we never set clear expectations about how we'd handle this situation from the beginning. We just kind of winged it. And now that it's become an issue, we're both struggling to navigate our differences. What would you do? Now, I want to put it out there, what would you do in my shoes? Would you continue to let Alex stay for free and hope he becomes more considerate of your expenses? Or would you set clear boundaries and start expecting him to contribute financially? Some of you might say that relationships should be about love and trust, not about splitting bills. But others might argue that clear communication and mutual respect are essential in any partnership. Conclusion. Thanks for listening to my story, everyone. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this situation. How do you handle conflicts like this in your own relationships? Do you think Alex's behavior is a sign of deeper issues or just a case of him feeling entitled? If you have any advice or insights, please share them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more Storytime content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.